If you've watched our channel in past years, one of the things that I've always been pretty big on is learning basic mechanics, farm mechanics. You can't operate a farm if you don't understand some very basic mechanics. We've done a lot of work on our four-wheeler up there in the past. This bad boy mower we haven't done a lot of work on because we just got it a year ago. So this will be my first year servicing this mower, but I thought I'd go ahead and just do a video showing you guys the basic oil change on this zero-turn mower. And for those of you, obviously many of you know how to do an oil change, but for those of you who are just getting into farming or getting into mechanics, start with something this easy, like changing the oil on your riding mower. And then you build up and you start to learn a lot of common sense when it comes to mechanics. And you'll be surprised how much money it will save you over time by learning how to do this stuff on your own. Just taking the time to understand equipment, how they operate. The more pieces of equipment you work on, the more you're going to learn about different pieces and how they operate. I've never changed the oil on one of these, but it's a pretty straightforward process. And then I'm actually going to come back in about a week and change out the hydraulic fluid on this as well. So if you're interested in these mechanic videos, keep your eyes out for them because I will be posting them, especially as the season unfolds and I get back into our old tractor. But in any case, I hope this helps some of you who are new to this. I know it could be a little frustrating when you're just moving out to a farm and you're learning that you have to maintain your own equipment and how to do that and what to look for. So this is a very, very simple first step for everybody, changing the oil on these things. Anytime that I'm changing the oil in something, I like to first remove my filler cap, and that way when I start to drain my oil, the oil can flow very easily out the bottom. For the drain plug on the bad boy mower, you have basically a hose coming out of the side here, and all you have to do is remove your plug from this hose. And it's kind of nice because it's up high enough you can use a standard bucket, and I like that because then I could use the pour feature of this bucket to get it into a container and dispose of it. So I'm going to use an 11/16 wrench to hold onto my hose. I may even actually use that notch in the bad boy mower to hold that steady. And then I'm going to use an adjustable wrench to remove the plug. Boy, they really don't mess around with that plug. So I'm going to let that drain. You can see I had to use a breaker bar to get that plug loose. So they put those on there pretty tight. But it's nice having this little notch in the side of the frame to brace your wrench while you do this. The oil filter is just on the opposite side of the engine, and it has in the frame a cutout for the oil, the excess oil from the oil filter to drip down. So I just stuck a bucket under there, and I should be able to just grab this with some oil filter pliers and turn. Now, it's a little smaller than my Fram pliers want to go. There we go. Oops, spilled a little bit there. So we have a Honda GXV 630 motor, and it comes with your typical Honda oil filter in there. I don't have a way of getting this oil filter unless I order online. And so what I did was I went and I found a CarQuest filter. This is the 84-356 CarQuest filter. And this is a premium replacement for the standard Honda filter. It's actually slightly bigger. It's a little deeper than the Honda filter, but the size is the same, and it should work just fine in our Honda motor. So I'm going to use this filter as a replacement for the Honda filter. And you want to get a little bit of oil on your rubber seal before you screw the oil filter into place. With the oil filters, you just need to get them a little more than finger tight. So I like to tighten it down with my fingers first, as tight as I can get it. And then just do a couple turns with a wrench. By now, my oil has completely drained from the motor, so I can go ahead and replace my plug. Okay. Finally, we're going to add oil back to our motor. Now, the recommendations for the Honda GXV 630 is 10W30. However, I have on hand at the moment 5W30, which is pretty similar. I got a really good deal on some Mobile Super 5W30, so that's what I'm going to be throwing in here today. And I use 5W30, 10W30 in our truck, our tractor, a lot of different equipment. So generally when I buy it, I'm buying it in bulk so that I just have it on hand. And it's the main difference between the 10W30 and the 5W30 is that the 5W30 works a little better in colder temperatures, and it actually can do a little more protection in the heat of summer. 10W30 is kind of it operates best at maybe spring and fall temperatures. The 10W30 is a little thicker, so if you have an older motor, that 10W30 will help your seals in that older motor. But when you have a newer motor, the 5W30 works its way in and provides a little more protection. So they all work a little different. This motor should hold just about 2 quarts of oil. So I'm going to put in about 1.5 quarts, and then I'm going to check it to see how full it's reading. Keep in mind, I still haven't gotten any oil into the oil filter, so we're going to have to turn it on and let it run for a second so that the oil can work its way down into the filter, and then we'll top it off. So just screw your filler cap into place, then re-pull it. Okay, so I did about almost exactly 1 2/3 quarts of oil in it, and it's reading full. So now I'm going to start it, let some oil get down into the filter, and then I will top it off once it's had a chance to run. Now, perfect. Right at about 2 quarts. So that's pretty much it. I've got the oil changed. I cleaned my air filter out. This bad boy mower has kind of a dual air filter, and what's nice about that is that the exterior foam filter you could take out and clean and put back in, and your paper filter will actually last a little longer. So I don't have to replace that this year. I've sharpened the blades, I just need to throw those back on there, and I think that this is going to be ready to go. It's only been in service on our farm, believe it or not, for 1 season. It's gotten a little dirty, and we've definitely used it a substantial amount, but otherwise I don't think that there's any other maintenance I need to do this year. We'll probably get some inner tubes put into the tires because one of our tires is going flat, and I may, as we get later in the spring, change out the hydraulic fluid. I've got some work to do on our tractor, and when I do the work on our tractor, I'm going to have to get a bunch of hydraulic fluid, and so I'll do those all at once. But maintenance on these is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but you really have to make sure that you change your oil every single season. And depending on how much you mow, you may want to change it mid-season as well.